So you said the president has fully cooperated, and there's no indication that he and the White House have not. But there is a real question about transparency and what the American people deserve.
The prosecutors will get to the bottom of this, and let's let them do it, for God's sakes.
I
know you all want to buzz around and all of that, but
let me buzz for a minute. Okay, let me buzz for 1 minute, and I promise we'll get on to something else.
Hold on. It's not just us buzzing around. You're the Democratic head of the Senate. This is a really important issue. It's not just buzzing around. This is serious stuff.
And if there were no special prosecutor, there would be, you might have a different thing to say, but there is. And now we have the law enforcement people who have the power to get all the facts out doing it. I support both. I think we should have a special prosecutor on each. I don't mind your asking these questions, but my view is I'm not going to say anything. Let the special prosecutors do their job.
The question I was going to ask is about the fact that when this did come out after CBS's News' reporting and the White House came out and acknowledged it, they only addressed the documents found on November 2nd. But they knew at the time about the documents found on December 20th. And that's what begs the question of full transparency. And it's not just us. The Washington Post editorial board, this morning says the same thing, that if the president and this White House answered more questions directly, like that exact timeline, that would, quote, promote trust and preempt this criticism. Would you like to see the White House do that today?
I leave everything up to the special prosecutors. Their obligation legally was to report things to the archives the minute they discovered them. Unlike Trump, they did.
Okay, so now we got Democrat on Democrat infighting. That is a reliable Democrat, journalist, Don Lemon over at CNN. He is calling Chuck Schumer out on the carpet because he wants to talk about how bad the Biden classified documents scandal is. Oh, and Chuck Schumer is like, oh, you journalists, you just want to buzz around this and buzz around that. And Don Lemon, he has to pretend to be a journalist sometimes. He's like, no, this is very serious. And so when Chuck Schumer does something like CNN this morning and he goes on CNN, any Democrat that goes on CNN knows that they're going in for a softball interview. They're going in to peddle propaganda. They're not really going to answer any real questions, kind of like how they never really answer any real questions at the White House press briefing, which made this little back and forth between Don Lemon and Chuck Schumer all the more surprising, right? And so this is what I think that's going on. Do the vast majority of the mainstream media want to take Joe Biden down and want to take him out? Absolutely not. I think that they need Joe Biden to be the nominee in 2024. They need him to be the nominee in 2024. The bench for the Democrats is not really very deep, but I think that at this point right now, everybody's just kind of playing this little theater, from Don Lemon to the, Raphael Warnock said this, all of the Democrats, the more prominent high profile Democrats and liberal are engaging in a little theater right now where they pretend as if they really want the truth from this Biden classified document scandal. And so as soon as the special counsel, which is probably completely and totally rigged, comes out and says, well, we found no evidence of wrongdoing, then everybody can just point to that and say, well, look, it got investigated, it's over, it's a non-existent scandal. So that's what's going on here.